Legends of Saints and Sinners by Douglas Hyde. Chapter 8. The Death of Bearachan. Preface. The following little story, taken down in Irish by my friend Father Kelleher, from the dictation of Mary Sweeney, aged 82, of Coolia, Ballyvourney, County Cork, and sent me by Miss G. Sherpearl, who published the text in the Review Celtique in 1911, is of great interest because it is almost unique as showing a point of contact, one of the exceedingly few points of contact between Breton and Irish folklore. Il n'est que je sache d'autres exemples en Irlande d'un messager surnaturel tel que l'enfant mystérieux qui paraît dans le conte qui suit, says Miss Sherpearl. Truly, but in Brittany, she goes on to say, the bugle, Irish Bearachan, knows, that is, the boy or herdsman of the night, is well known. It is generally described as a little child with its head too large for its body, which only seldom appears, but which is heard to cry and lament in fields or on deserted roads. Its apparition is a presage of death. Lebras, in his Legende de la Mort, has more than one story of its appearance. The salient points in the following story, which seem to connect it with the Breton legend, are: 1. The gradual growth in size of the being which was at first small; 2. The lamentations and cries which it utters; and 3. Most remarkable of all, that it described itself as a herdsman, and was a presage of death. The Bearachan of this story must have been the Bishop of Clouain Sasta in Uí Féilge, King's County, about the year 690. He was of the race of the Valriara, or Scoto-Irish, and was 21st in descent from Jaerbra Riawa, who fought in the battle of Caen fi Abrust in 186 A.D. I've seen his pedigree in manuscript. There are about 6 other Saint Bearachans, but so far as I know the only one who would have been at all likely to have attracted a body of legend to himself was this Bearachan of Clouain Sasta, who was esteemed as a prophet and poet. Besides, I find this very curious note in the Martyrology of Donegal, compiled by Brother Michael O'Clery from the Old Books of Ireland in 1630. Wo bach che chain wa fluat go nu arba in Uí Féilge Brehon Law Uí Bearachan and Maywe for time Chio and urge and rin ata Clouain Sasta and on rin ata temple Bearachan a cur wo by. That is, Bearachan's vat has been found new in Uí Féilge, in the territory of the Uí Bearachan. The timber was still round the water, that is, was still good enough to hold water. It is there Clouain Sasta is, and there Bearachan's church is and was. So then there must have been some well-known story connected with Bearachan's vat. The list of the great Earl of Kildare's library, which was drawn up in 1518, contained a Saint Bearachan's book. Poems ascribed to him are found in the Wars of the Gael in Gaul. For other references to him, see my Literary History of Ireland, 210-11. Bearachan is the modern pronunciation of the older Berchan. The story. Bearachan of Glenflesk had a dream or vision that there was no danger of his ever dying until 3 kings should come to his house without asking or invitation. On a certain night they did pay him a visit. He told them that there would not be a bit of him alive in the morning. They passed a good part of the night eating and drinking away, and they making a jest of him, saying that so long as they themselves were in the house there would be no danger of anything happening him. They got hold of a big dabhach or vat, and they put Bearachan in under the mouth of the vat to protect him, and they three were round about it. He had not been long placed there by them when they heard a very clear little voice outside, and it crying, and there was snow outside and cold. They asked it what was outside and what it wanted. It said that it was a cowherd, and that it was perished. They left him outside for a good space of time. At last they let him in. He came in and sat down beside the fire, a poor little creature, and he shaking with the cold. They gave him food and drink, but he told them that he was too much frightened, and that he would not eat it. They had a fine red hot fire, and he was warming himself at the fire. He was a very short time there till he began swelling with the heat of the fire, and growing big. He drew a little musical instrument out of his pocket and started to play on it, and according as the music was a-playing by him, the others were inclining to weaken and fall asleep, until they all at last fell softly in a dead sleep. And when they awoke in the morning, they had no music and no Bearachan, nothing but his bones left bare and naked underneath the vat. End of chapter 8.